name is Saman, and I am experienced and certified trainer. I am working in this domain from the last 3 years, and in Python, I am working from last 7 years. So today we are here to get out more information about the data analytics. Fine. Now it consists of n numbers of things. In our today demo, we are going to be discuss a lot of things at and the last we are going to be discuss a one use case that will be our COVID data set, so that you will be proper able to understand at the last in your job responsibilities, if you are working in this domain, what type of the task you have to perform out. Fine. So let us move to the agenda for today. So today, firstly, we will discuss about the need of the data analytics, introduction to data analytics, roles and responsibilities of a data analyst, and skills that is required to be a data analyst. And at the last, that I had already mentioned you that COVID data analysis, a use case will be there for you, so that you are proper able to understand the concept of what is going to be happen. Fine, in a real scenario. So basically, starting with our data analytics, the introduction. Before starting the introduction, let us move to the why data analytics is important. So as we are living in a data world. In a present situation, we are living in a data world. We are all surrounded with the data, more and more and more data. Fine. So here you can see out uh, amount of in a present time, amount of getting the data is very much high. Fine, either you are searching something, either you are visiting to any website, directly or indirectly you are generating a data. Fine. And to handle out that data, make some analytics on that data to improve your business, sorry, to increase your business strategy, like to increase out your business here. This is the basic key need of the data analytics. Fine. So here, to grow out your business, even to grow in your life, sometimes we need to do analysis on our data set. Like you are getting out your data set, you have your own any website, and you want to check out who is visiting to your website, who is going to be querying to your website. So uh, make some analysis on that data set will help you to increase out your business. You can get out any insight from the data set, any type of the information. Let us suppose I am launching in a course, and in that course I got total 100 or 1000 registration. Fine. So what I want to do is, I have all type of the people, I have all type of the uh, people here, because it consists of some of the students, it consists of some of the freshers, it consists of some of the uh, experienced person, it some of consists of a totally non-technical background here. So basically, I am not so able to tie up all the guys in the one batch. So basically, I want to make a different type of the batches, like all the student, the content is going to be vary always. Fine. So here, this is just an example, not in our training, it is just an example. So in our data set, let us suppose I got in total 1000 or 1 lakh registration from the all the candidate, which is a mix up of the students, which is a mix up of the experienced person, and someone is fresher, someone is working as a non-technical. So I want to make a batch for all the different concept here. So I have to check out how much students are there, how much uh, working experienced person. So on that basis, to increase my business growth. Fine. And from which area from which area I am getting most of the leads. Fine. Of which age group I am getting out the most of the leads. So that I can make a target on that state, on a that area. Fine. On that age group. So this is the need of the data analysis here. So here, as I already mentioned out that somehow the introduction about the data analytics, that we are living in a data world, and we have a very large amount of data around us. Right. Now, to extract out the data from the very firstly, the collecting out the data from the different source. If you are launching any your product, and from that product some of the leads are generating, and you want to get out the data from your product, that means your website. So we are getting out the data from the data analytics is that we are collecting out the data from the different sources. We have to extract it, clean it, so that we can get out the meaningful information from our that data set here. Fine. Now, who are basically data analysts? A data analyst is a person or the person in a company who is responsible to handle out the all data. Fine, to handle out the all data either for the client, either of their own product. Fine. After handling the data while handling the data, he has to perform n numbers of the operations such as analysis he want to do. He have to perform some of the manipulation, he have to perform some of the filtration process on the data set here. Fine. So a person who has some of the logical thinking that what he can extract from the data set, and how what will be the logic to extract this type of the information from that data set. That is a person working in a data analytics domain, and the post will be the data analyst here. So these I had mentioned out some of the roles and responsibilities here, that he have to firstly get out the organization goal. Either he is working on a client data set, either he is working on a product basically. Fine. So uh, at the at the last he has to perform something, but before that he has to understand what type of the task he has, what he has to perform out. Fine. Then we have to then data analyst has to get out the proper insight from the data set here, so that he can conclude something. At the last he can conclude something, like let us suppose uh, get insight from data set. I am going to expand this role and responsibilities here. Let us suppose I am taking a simple data set here. I want I have some of the information of the employees, which consists of the name of employee, which consists of the age of employee, which consists of educational qualification of an employee, height of the employee, and we can say out salary of the employee. Now I am finding out some of the correlations. Fine. Correlations in the sense of how my salary is increasing by employee. Fine. On which factor my salary is increasing. So basically the thing is that we can get out this information by the educational qualification of the employee, as well as the number of year of experience, that how much experience an employee has. Fine. On these two bases I got an proper idea that how my salary is going to be increased out. But in our data set we have some of the more column as well, such as the age, height of the employee, marital status of the employee. So these are not so much we can say out uh, a considerable column, a considerable uh, concept inside our data set, which is used to show out the salary of the employee. So basically, this is how we are getting out the insight from the data set, that our salary is totally dependent upon the educational qualification as well as the uh, number of year of experience. Fine. Then data cleansing, we have to clean out our data. Always in our real scenario, we got a dirty data set. Analyze and interpret the data. Analyze like by which factor my salary is increasing. Fine. How much salary is increasing by increase of how much number of year of experience. I have to plot out that all the report. At the last I have to create a report. So here you can see out I had mentioned out that data report and the data visualization. Data visualization is just generating the report what you had understand from the data set here. You are a technical person. You got an understand by analyzing the data set, but at the last you are reporting to your MD or any person. So it is not a fine way to get to give out the data in this CSV format or the Excel format. At the last, for the better visualization, for the better representation of the data set, we have to create a report, and that reports or the visualization are something like the charts that you are creating. Now, at the last skill or the roles and responsibility, that he has to also maintain the database. As I said, the data source can be anything. Data source can be anything. You can get out the data from any type of the sources, from the server, from the client server, from your organization server. So server consists of some of the databases. So at the last, uh, basically, he has to understand, have a knowledge how to maintain out the database here. This is how you can see out a short responsibilities here. Now you can see out explaining the concept in this written is somehow difficult as compared to the visualization. So from this representation, I got a proper idea that firstly I'm going to correcting out my data. After correcting my data, I am analyzing the data, and after analyzing my data set, we have to create down the report. So this is the main need of the visualization. That in a current scenario, by not in the current, basically all often by visualizing each and everything, we are proper able to understand that concept. These are now the skills I had mentioned out the skills that is required to be a data analytics basically. A person should be aware about the basic knowledge of the statics, data cleansing and manipulation, visualization, and knowledge of the data sources. These are the skills mentioned out in our JD as well. Like JD is something like a job description. If you are going to looking for a job and you are going to apply for a job, and let us suppose any organization had posted that they are looking for the data analyst, they have a vacancy for the data analyst. So they had mentioned out the JD as well. So according to the JD, according to my own personal experience and the JD, we had picked out some of the skills that to be a data analyst, these skills are always required. These skills are always required. And the course content that I had created, that is also in a very much fine way according to my own experience, that what type of the concept is needed, and uh, in a real scenario, and what an organization demand in an mention out in the JD here, that the person should be aware for any programming language. Fine. So here this is our course content. Not in a brief. I will share out the concerned person will share out the PDF file of this course content as well, which consists of n numbers of the thing. But these are some of the chapters that are going to be covered. That Python programming language, as I said, at the last, you all have to play with the data. Fine. So while playing with our data, we have a different type of the programming language, and Python is a more demandable to work on this data set. Fine. Most demandable in a present time to handle out the data set, to work on a data set here. So that we had picked out a Python programming language here. Now if you want to work on a data set with if you want to play with the data set with the help of the Python, first you have to a knowledge about the Python, how how our basically Python is going to be worked out, how you can provide instruction to your system with the help of the Python. So that is why a basic knowledge of the Python programming language is going to be covered out. After this, we will discuss that uh, huh, that how you can analyze your data set with the help of the Python, how to clean it the data set, how to um, filter out our data set, how to analyze the data set, how to manipulate the data set, and more on stuff. That how to totally play with your data set with the Python. Then data visualization with Python. That means how to create a report, charts with the help of the Python. Statics, as I said, that static is somehow you are finding some of the correlations. There will be need of some of the statics. So that is also going to be covered in our course content. Each and everything. These are the chapters which is going to be covered out. The another concept that you can we will share out the PDF file of the course content. Fine. And data sources, it will be like from where our data is going to be covered. So SQL is also going to be covered inside our course content because it is somehow the important part. Fine. Then a real-time project in our course training here, in our training partner, around 3 to 4 real-time project is going to be covered, so that you will be proper able to mention out your in your resume, so that you can explain what you had performed by your own. Fine. That is a major thing, that whenever you are applying for the job, you can only crack an interview if you had performed something. Our training concept will be very much fine. According to me, like if a person is want to learn something, always it depend upon the candidate. Fine. So by this uh, point, I had pick out very much important things inside our training part, that on a daily basis you will get an assignment to perform out the task. So if you are performing by your own, only then you will be proper able to understand the concept. By watching out the videos, by attending the live session, it is not so much helpful to getting out the concept. You will be only able to get out the concept once you are going to be work by your own, and that is the need of the assignment. So in our training part, on a daily basis you will get an assignment so that you can perform by your own. Fine. Now, this is for our all the theoretical part here. Just now I am going to work. I am going to show a use case so that you will be proper able to understand the concept. So as I said that this is the official website of my COVID in our India current situation, that is COVID-19 India.org, which consists of all my data set regarding the COVID. That how much confirmed cases, how much active cases are there, how much recovered cases are there, how much are decreased according to the region. This is in Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. Till now, till today, 1 August, 3:40 a.m. IST. Fine, till today. This is all the data set we have. Fine. This is about our in our Punjab state, that how it is going to be confirmed on the July. It is on a active. This is my confirmed cases, active, recovered, decreased, and tested. So all the data I have in this website. Now I want to make some of the analysis in this data set here, in this data set. To get out a data set in this website, here you can see out I have something as a database here. So if I'm going to click on this one here, so I got an APIs. Basically, I got an APIs from where I can get out the data. As I said, that to work on a data set, to work on any data set, the data source will be anything. Now you can consider out this APIs as a data for data sources. And here we have all these the data till today, from our starting day to till today, in a different formats here, different data here. Here, so we have total 12 files are there. 12 files are there total. That raw data one till April 19, from starting Jan will be there. Data partition 2 from April 20 to 26. This one here. The data is divided on the basis of the dates here. So these are some of the JSON data format. And here at the last you will got in a CSV type of the data set here. So I had already downloaded all the 12 files in my system. And here you can see out I am going to work on that data set here. To work on a data set, this is a structure. This is a Python. This is a Python code by which I am going to be analyzing the data here. So in this use case, I know that is totally, if someone has a knowledge of a Python, he can understand some of the code. But if someone is totally fresher in a Python, he don't know any concept of the Python, so he's not so much able to understand the concept. But the thing is that we are going to be discuss this use case, so that I am not going to be showing you the example of the Python or something. Just I'm going to show that a basic thing, what is going to be happen in your at the last after completing the training, what you have to perform. Fine. The basically the concept, basically what is going to be work in this domain. Fine. How to work on a data set here, what type of the information we can get out from our data set here. So firstly, we are importing out our Python libraries that I am saying out. I want to work on a pandas, I want to work on a request, I want to work on a JSON. Like work on a data set, I am importing out. This is going to be used out to handle out the data with our Python here. I am getting out the one data set, the one data set here, and I am going to printing out that one here, data one. The data one is this one. Let me show out that, that's right. This one, raw data one. Till April 19, till April 19. I had imported out only one data set right now. I had said out, please give me this data set, raw data one.csv. It consists of some of the things, such as a patient number, state patient number, date announced, estimated onset date, age bracket, gender of the person, detected city, detected district, and all the things that is available inside my data set here. You can see out some of the nan values are there. Nan values are there. Nan values are representing in a Python as a not a number. Not a number means that inside my data set, these fields are empty. A person inside of a data set, this fields are empty here. Fine. So we have to also remove out some of the these empty fields. That is somehow the cleansing of the data set. Some of the columns we are not, that are not needed inside of a data set. That is somehow the cleansing process. Fine. So here, this is we got out an information about the data, that this much of the columns we have. Fine. So in the same way, I am going to import my all the rest of the data set. That is total, I have total 12 data files here. You can see out here, total 12 data files here. from July 23rd up to onward. That means up to today date. Fine. Now I got all the data set in a different variable in a different concept, data 1, data 2 up to data 12. Now here I want to check out the information about my data 1. Information, or the we can say out inspecting the data, we can say out uh, all the summary about the data set here. Fine. So here you can see out the summary says that we have total 17,306 not null value. A one data file consists of this much of the record, 17,364. And how much rows, how much files we have? Fine. So near around we got an 12 files. So the length of the data always vary. Not it's always compulsory. It is total 17,364 data. Length can be anything. And you can see out we have total 21 columns are there, and these are the name of the columns. We have something like a patient number. It says that there are total 17,306 not known value. From 17,364, 17,306 values are given, but the rest of the values are empty. The rest of the data is not available inside my data file here. So all the you can see out this all about the columns are there. I had already mentioned out age bracket are there, gender, detected city, detected state. Fine. So moving to the further part, here I am getting out the information about the columns here. Let us suppose I want to check out the data one columns. So these are the columns of the data one. Here you can see out we have a data 2 as well. So I am going to check out the columns of data 2 as well. That is totally same. Another thing I am seeing out the data 3 columns. And here you can see out the difference. Check out number data 2. You can see out we have something as a number of cases. Number of cases are there. Fine. At this one here. In data and data 1, somehow we have a, let me pick out here, number of cases. Okay, so that is now fine. The thing was when I was creating this file, there were some of the changes inside a column. So to check out the column of each and every file, we have to go through once all the column from the different files. This is I am getting out. I am just getting out the needed column, but which the column which is going to be needed inside our in our concept. So I am going to store out. I want data num cases, that how much number of cases, date announced, fine, age bracket, that what is the age of the patient, gender, detected city, detected district. That means I am cleansing out. I am cleansing and filtering my data set, that I want this much of the columns only to perform some of the analysis on my data set here. So that are all going to be stored in a different data here, df1, df2, df3. At the last, what we have to do is we have to concatenate all the data set. We have to concatenate all the data set into one single form. So I am going to append my data, and I want to check out the information about my data. So it says that the total we have is 2,38,071. 2,38,071 data are there, rows are there, which consist of this much of the number cases, this much of the date announced, this much of the age bracket, gender, detected city, detected district, that the column we had picked out from our data set here. After then, let us here you can see out, if I'm going to show you one information here, I'm going to show out one information. Let us suppose I'm saying out the data. I am going to show out a column name as a date announced. Here you can see out date announced in this way is something is in this format, basically. That is my day, month, and year. Fine. I want to split out in different columns. That day is going to be split into another column, month is going to be split into another column, and the year is going to be split into another column. So here by this I am going to split it out here, and I am okay. So let me show out here. After splitting out, you can see out I got a 3 more column, day, month, and year, so that I want to perform some of the analysis. Now I got all the combinations from all the different files, and I want to store out all the information in one single file. So I am saying that hey, please go and create a new CSV file with name as a India COVID-19 India.csv. All the combination of these 12 file, all the combination of these 12 files that is going to be stored into a one file. Now I want to perform some of the analysis on this data set here. So I am going to be importing out my dat data set inside my Python Jupyter notebook. And here you can see out this much of the columns I have. This is a representation of the inspecting, basically removing the first index column. The first index column I'm removing out here. And you can see out, I had already shown you the information. Let us suppose I want to check out that how much null values are there. How much null values? Null values mean how much empty values are there. Let me show out you one format of the data set here. One format of the data set here. You will get a proper idea. Here you can see out. We have some of the null values. These, the values which is not given, this is known as a null values. And if I am saying out that I want that columns, that and how much column consists of the null values, that means empty files inside my data set here. So I am getting out this concept that the detected city consists of 22 lakh this much of the null values here. That most often in a detected city column consists of all the null values here. Age bracket consists of this much of the null values here. Fine. District it consists of this much number of cases. This one, current status is this one is missing. Year, month, and date is this one is missing. Now, I want to check out that how much percent, how much data, how much percent the data is missing from my, the information is missing from my data set here. So here you can see out that detected city, 95% of the data in a detected city column is missing. That inside my this the data on which I'm going to work, 95% of the information is missing inside this column. Fine. Age bracket, 55% is missing. Total we have 45% of the data. We can perform a very much fine analysis if we have a proper data, but you can see out in our this data set here, we are just uh, we have some consisting of the values which is already not available inside my data set here. Now I want to check out the total COVID cases month wise. Month wise, I want to check out the total COVID cases. Fine. So here you can see out, I got a number from the 1 month. I got a 1 cases on a January, 2 cases in a February, 1635 cases in my March month. On a 4th April, this much of the cases are there. 5th, this much of the cases are there. In a 6th month, this much of the cases are there. In a 7th, this much of the cases are there. Now, this consists of the number of the cases which is totally available, Here you can see out, if I'm going to the official website of this one here, you can see out it consists of total cases confirmed, which is somehow active, which is somehow recovered, which is somehow decreased. Fine. But in our data set, we are getting the total cases, But my requirement is that I want to get out only that cases which are active, which are already hospitalized right now. Fine. So here you can see out. I am getting that in a 3rd month, this much of the patient are hospitalized, this much of the patient are in a 4th month, in a 5th month, in a 6th month, in a 7th month here. Now, after this, I want to check out, I want to plot out this concept. I want to plot out. That means I want to plot out, and here you can see out, this is how our graph look like, that in the 4th month, 3rd month, very little we can see out, very little value is there. In a 4th month, this much of the patient are hospitalized. In a 5th month, this much of the patient are hospitalized. And in the 7th month, you can see out this much of the patient are hospitalized. Now, I want to check out how much males are there, how much females are there, how much males are there, and how much females are there who are affected from this one here. So you can see out total female, somehow data consists of female in this cases as well, somehow they consist of the male in this way, in this way, in this as well, here in this way as well. So basically there are total 38,000 female who are infected from a COVID, and there are total 72,000 males are there according to the data, as we already shown you that 55% of the data is missing. 55% of the information is missing from my data set here. According to that data set, this much of the we are getting out the analysis that this much of the females are infected and this much of the males are infected. I want to check out the age group. According to the age group, which age is mostly infected? Which age is mostly infected here? And here you can see how the 30th age, 30th age is mostly infected here. Fine. Here you can see how the numbers. The 30, the age of this age group has this much of the cases, this much of the cases, this much of the cases. We had already shown according to the data set, because right now we have the missing data, more of the missing data. Fine. If we got a proper data set, that we can perform a fine analysis on that this COVID here. Fine. So I want to group out here according to age wise. So here you can see out we are getting out that 30th age, that is on the top. 40th of this much of the numbers are there, 35 of this much of the number, 35 again of this much of the number, 32, 45, 25th, 40 and 25. Here you can see how 38 and 30 is somehow vary. Fine. This is different because the column is our data is representing in this way here. We can filter out our that data set as well. There will be not an issue, but this is just a use case. I am just showing you the how data analyst is going to be perform on any data set, what type of the task he has to perform out here. After then, I want to check out that how much is hospitalized and according to the state wise, here. Fine. And here you can see out that according to the state wise, I got an data in Andhra Pradesh, this much of the cases are there, and Andhra Pradesh, this is a data set of the India. Fine. And Andhra Pradesh, this much of the people are infected. Assam, this much. That is currently hospitalized right now. You can see out. I had mentioned out the condition that I want a person who is currently hospitalized. Fine. Then I want to plot out, and here you can see out on the and here you can see out according to the state that our graph shows that mostly the infected state is Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, then Andhra Pradesh, then Delhi, then Karnataka. Okay, this is in a descending format here. Fine. So that here you can see out by this we can handle out our state. We can handle out our state. Like if I'm discussing about the Chandigarh, so Chandigarh is not so much infected as compared to Maharashtra. So if we perform some of the restriction to this state, fine, or this city, so we can stop out. We can make some of this in spreading of this infection here, this virus. We can stop out. Fine. So we get a proper idea that how it is infecting. So if the people are coming from this state, that we can make a quarantine or anything that we can do out here. Just we are getting out the scenario. We are just getting out the detail, the insight from the data set here. Now, I want to check out on a month wise and a day wise here. And here you can see out on a month wise and a day wise. In the third month, this was the date. On a 4th of March, I got 5 cases. 5th of the March, I got a 1 cases. 7th of the March, I got 2 cases. 9th of the March, I got 4 cases. Any type of the analysis you can do out. Any type of the analysis. Now I want to show out a plot here. Fine. Okay. This one. On the basis of this is basically like I want to plot out all the current status on the day wise as well as the month wise. So this is for my month third, this is for my 4th month, this is for my 5th month, 6th month and 7th month here. So here you can see out on the third month, the 1st of the March, we have a 0 case. Fine. But here you can see out in our 4th month, we have total 500 cases, 2500 cases, 10,000 cases, 20,000 cases in the July month. So here you can proper got an idea like how our data is increasing, how our COVID patients are increasing day by day. Fine. So if you got a proper idea about the data set, you can perform any type of the concept on this one here. Now this was about our today's session. If anyone has any query, please let me know. Anyone has any query, please let me know now. If anyone want to ask something, please let me know. Fine, 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 fine.